I'm here to drop in with you all during the small hours and those of you who will catch this on the replay. I'm bringing in something new every Tuesday when we drop in and we get the weekly weather forecast just to see what's coming in, what kind of energies are in play for the week ahead, how can we move forward in the most empowered way. I'm going to be using what comes forward in those reads to bring you all some kind of healing circle, intentional circle, space that you can drop in on if you wish to receive some of what I'm going to be bringing in tonight, which is a little Reiki healing. Um, and Reiki is life force energy. It is key. It's amplifying the key in your body, the natural energy that's inherent in all things that gives that feeling of enlivening, bringing the energy body into balance. I have gone through all three levels. I can attune people. I do not choose to call myself a Reiki master. I just don't resonate with the title master because I'm always a beginner. I'm always a beginner and I'm always learning. And I'm very grateful to my teacher, Tomoko Hiroka, who attuned me to Reiki and took me on the journey in a very traditional way. And that felt really good to me. It felt really good to honor the roots. And it's not something that I charge for, it's something that I just feel called to share with people. And so I want to share that with all of you. This particular Reiki that I'm going to be doing tonight is going to be centered on gratitude. Gratitude. What really came forward in the read that we did earlier today for the collective is a need to align with this spirit of gratitude, that this is actually what brings about the change that's been desired, the um, freeing up of movement that has been held back up until now, and also this letting go and trusting and turning over and releasing and staying in this space of expectant gratitude for the blessings on their way. Very much buffalo medicine. And it's so interesting because there was recently a white buffalo born. So that's a very special symbol of spirit manifest and peace. And there's this energy of aligning in that place of peace and trusting that spirit, however you relate to that, the one energy that runs through all things, okay? Whether you view that as God or God as great spirit, higher consciousness. I often will refer to it as great spirit, just as a nod to my ancestors and my desire to have them help inform my earth walk and the choices I make. Really learning more about ancestral traditions. And I have a lot of different backgrounds. I'm kind of a Heinz 57. So wanting to learn, about all those different traditions, all those different parts of me and their personal magics. And I really feel compelled to just share in this spirit of community, healing, coming together to hold intention together in a conscious way, but in a space where everybody is welcome, no matter what your spiritual beliefs are, no matter your background. I really want this to be a place that's very all inclusive, where everybody is free to be here and receive what comes on through and help hold the intention. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a moment to feed spirit, because so often we can lose touch with our spiritual roots. We can experience a sense of disconnect, especially if we've been going through a challenging time, if we've been experiencing difficult things. And we've all collectively been moving through some really challenging times. So it's during those times when it's even more important to connect to those spaces inside of us that are able to still hold on to the beauty and the meaning and the hope of being blessed with this life and all it has to offer, even at times when we find ourselves going through something really challenging or something really painful or navigating a loss or a big life transition. So, it's such a piece of understanding that when we feel like we don't have the support is when we need to more connect with the energy and the spirit of that support through showing gratitude and offering support and nurturing outside of ourselves. It has a way of kind of moving us out of the ego and into that higher consciousness energy. And one of the ways we can do this is by feeding the gods or feeding spirit, feeding the ancestors. So I first wanted to begin by pouring the ancestors' spirit a little libation. This is a really lovely Pinot Noir spyglass. Um, spyglasses are used to navigate the way forward, to see clearly over what sometimes can be choppy water, right? To find safe passage. And so there's this piece of wanting to bring in for the ancestors the pouring of this libation in gratitude for helping us find the way, even as we've navigated at times some very uncertain passages, for always offering us sustenance and strength and support, even at times when we didn't realize it, just by helping us tap into a part of ourselves that could endure maybe what we felt like wasn't able to be endured. But there's this peace, this reciprocal flow, this energy exchange that is about feeding the gods or feeding spirit, or feeding the ancestors, giving back, feeding nature, giving offerings to the earth, to enter this cycle of flow, flow. Some would call it the flow of abundance. Um, but so often we approach spirit or higher consciousness in this sense of grasping, just wanting the instant gratification of seeing our manifestations coming about, or wanting everything to be smoothly flowing at all times, when sometimes the obstacles are very essential to our spiritual growth. And so we kind of usually, humans have a tendency to fall into a pattern. And I've been guilty of it myself at times, where you kind of put that on the back burner. You go into survival mode, especially when you're navigating a crisis. And maybe initially, it's natural to want to turn to your sources of spiritual support at that time. You turn to your prayer, you turn to your ritual, or however you connect to this need to release, this need to um, feel like you're being held when things feel very uncertain, right? A lot of people will turn to their spirituality at those times, but when you've been navigating a long mile with something, and you've been going through it for a while, and your faith is really being tested in your ability to get through the challenges, get through what you're facing, it can be natural to start to feel almost a disconnect from spirit. And that sense of disconnect comes from buying into the illusion that there is ever any separation to begin with. It's all inside of you. It's all interconnected. It's accessible at all times. It's always here. So there's this piece of understanding the interrelation between these things, that when we feed spirit very much, in a real sense, we're also feeding ourselves. It's true. And it's also by properly nurturing yourself, nourishing yourself, that you pay gratitude for the gift of this life, this body, this vessel, this vehicle to move through this garden of earthly delight. And yes, it has its sorrows too. But even amidst sorrow, there's still things to feel grateful for. And this is an important piece to really tap into at this time. You know, we're looking to transform, we're looking to shed old skins. Cobra medicine, I work with it a lot. Cobra has been coming to me since I was a little girl in my dreams, and has always come as a guide. And I simultaneously had a great fear of the medicine at first, until I came to understand it and what it means. It's about transmutation. It's about imbibing a bit of poison to arrive at the cure, through understanding, through alchemy. Snake medicine also asks that we are very still, that we listen, that we sense, that we tune into the energy. And this is the invitation at this time, to not fight for things to flow a certain way, but to be grateful for the space to just drop in and trust that it's all being held, and that this is a space for shedding old skins. And that it's important that we nurture these spaces in meaningful ways. Ritual is one way. A simple ritual like pouring a libation for your ancestors, for spirit. It's a way to create meaningful space, to understand that as you ensure that spirit's fed, you're fed in return. Because we know that as above, so below. It's all the same trip. It's all the same trip. So I wanted to start first tonight with a little smoke cleansing for you, just to purify the old energy and what needs to be cleansed away. And you can just sit and receive this and just take it in. This is sage and copal. Sage is very protective. And it clears away lower vibrational energies. Welcomes ancestral energies in, totem medicines. Copal is aligned with the energy of love. Very beautiful, sovereign ally. Clearing away any energy that is rooted in a sense of lack. Any energy that feels trapped, stuck, held back, limited, unsafe. Bringing in some hawk medicine, this hawk feather. To help us see clearly what needs to be shed. To help us see clearly what needs to be released, what needs to be healed. Helping us to come into a place of openness, trust, cleansing away all residue from those past experiences that moved us into that place of not feeling it was safe to trust. I want you to just take a moment and close your eyes. And get in touch with the heaviness that you're still holding around your heart. Just sink into your heart space. Just breathe into this sense of heaviness. See if you can take some deep, full breaths right into the center of your heart space. Let's just let this sage and copal come into that space and wipe away the residue of that energy as your breath causes it to dissipate. Carried away by hawk, to be transformed, and this heaviness to be returned to you as new perspective instead. New way of seeing things, understanding the gift within the experience, the blessing within this experience. Releasing the attachment that you have to the story, to the way things were supposed to be. To any need to fix it or to be right. internally speak into your heart now and say, I am ready to release my attachment to suffering. I am ready to take the risk of radical loving to come into my heart and trust that in that center, I find a soft place to land, held within myself, held by spirit. If your eyes have been closed, go ahead and open them. Allow some of this softness in. It doesn't have to be hard to let go. It can be a really beautiful, sweet release. To come into that place of trust. That it's all being held. I would like to bring in some Reiki for you. If you would like to receive it, this Reiki is to awaken within you the spirit of gratitude. It's to help you become more aware of the blessings that are in your life, the reasons you have to be grateful, the reasons you have to trust that you will endure, that the promise of the star will be fulfilled again, the sun will shine again, the light will return, that what is meant for you is always yours, and it will come in time with perfect timing and perfect trust. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to show up any specific way. You can just be where you're at. You can watch me if you like, or you can close your eyes and just tune into the energy, whatever feels resonant with you. Sending energy back to heal the past, sending energy to you in this present moment, sending energy towards your future and all you dream it to be. Aligning you emotionally to the spirit of gratitude. Rest your hands upright, palms soft. Let these soft palms be symbolic of a soft heart. See if you can breathe into the center of your palms and just soften them. Rest them upward on your lap, or if you're laying down at your sides, soft, open, gentle palms. And as you lay here with these soft palms or sit with them resting on your lap, I want you to take a moment now and think of all the reasons you have to be grateful. Think of all of the blessings you've already received. The ways that you have been supported, people who have shown up, the kindness that has been extended to you, your needs that have been met. And imagine each of these things, each of these blessings, each of these people, experiences, reasons to be grateful. They're filling your soft palms with stardust. That same stardust that you came from, that we all came from. And feel the vastness of that. All that you now hold in your hands. And if anything surfaces that interrupts your focus on these blessings, any energy or feelings of, yeah, but this happened. Go ahead and just breathe that out. Breathe it out. Just cut the cords to the attachment, to those lower vibrational energies. The attachment to suffering, the attachment to the resistance, the changes that maybe you didn't anticipate or didn't desire. Just releasing the attachment to the wounding, Maybe cut away. The root of it. And go ahead and take a nice deep breath and exhale that old energy. Just clear away energy. And again, focus on those soft palms and continue to count your blessings, filling your soft palms with blessings as myriad as all the stars. And take those palms, and if you have a candle, hold that candle and just let that energy enter the candle. And if you don't yet have a candle, that's okay. You can just take that energy and hold it to your heart. I'm going to dress a candle for all of us to hold the energy for the collective that is receiving this healing work and setting this intention, holding this intention with me. If you catch this on the replay, this space is for you too, okay? And you can bring in your energy anytime you like. This is timeless, all right? Anytime you need to connect with a spirit of gratitude. I just added some rows for a sense of love and reverence to spirit, and gratitude to spirit for the love that has been shown to us, the ways that love always comes through. At the end of the day, that love always finds a way, that we've witnessed this. We've witnessed the power of this in our lives before. We know that love will find a way again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit, for the love, and thank you for the sweetness of those experiences that stay with us, that help us, help us understand what it means to feel pain. It's because we know deep pain that we can understand such sweetness, its power, its beauty. But this sweetness is always there, it's always accessible when we stay connected to our soul, what our soul needs for nourishment. Bringing in vanilla oil as well to hold that energy signature of sweetness to help us get in touch with the sweetness again. So we can let the sweetness of that connection with spirit into our hearts again. The sweetness of being able to let go and trust. Also going to be offering some clove oil. Clove oil to purify us of times we have forgotten that we became attached to our suffering, attached to the wound. And because of our attachment to our suffering, we were not able to see the beauty of our life, the gift that it is, to purify us of this energy so we can remember that even in dark times, there is reason to be grateful. There's some beauty to be found, whether it's a kindness shown to us by a stranger or the sun setting on what was a long, trying day and knowing that it will rise again with a chance to begin again, that hope can spring eternal, and that we're always being held. And I also wanted to bring in sweet myrrh as a gift of thanks and blessing, and offering a blessing to spirit, that spirit may be blessed, that more may remember to be grateful and to feed that connection, to get in touch with the way of the ancestors who knew the value of being in harmony with nature and taking time to nourish the soul, to honor the soul, and to express gratitude. It's a practice that many of us have lost the ways of, and it's such an important piece, such an important piece totally unintentional, but it's, I wonder if it will, might fall, formed a heart the way I poured that sweet myrrh in there. It formed a heart. Myrrh is for protection, so opening to trust again, right? Because that's what it is when you let go of what you've been struggling with. You know, so often people pray or they do rituals seeking support from spirit, seeking some kind of guidance, wanting to feel a sense of not being alone. being held, being cared for, and being relieved. People will often pray for miracles and they forget the peace of the miracle that's always here, just this life itself. The times that we have gotten through experiences when we thought there was no way we'd get to the other side of them, and how we came through stronger, wiser, and that it opened us up to new possibilities in our life that never would have been possible before. And I know that there have been times that people have been through terrible, deep traumas in life. I understand. I've experienced them too, things that seem senseless. But the wound is where the light gets in. And if you stay true to your path and you work your path, you do the healing that's necessary, you get to the other side of that. There's something that comes through. There's something that comes through. And that something can be used as a light you shine forward in the world. And it doesn't justify, but it gives meaning to our experiences, even the painful ones. And just the fact that we are able to endure some of the things that we go through in life, the things that bring us to our knees, that we can come out the other side, that we can come out stronger for it, can still keep our hearts open, can still love. Obviously wanting to heal, wanting to take the risk to trust. You wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be receiving this now if you weren't. All of that, it's a testimony to the strength of the human spirit. And that's the spirit that's in all things. You are that. So you have your candle, you can light it with me. I'm going to keep this burning, and I'm going to keep feeding it, keep feeding the intention, keep holding it. I'm going to say a blessing for the lighting of this candle now, and I just ask that you hold that space with me, just hold it and feel those words and that intention. If you have a candle, or if you're going to bring one in, just envision the words just infusing your candle with their charge. I light this candle on behalf of the collective to thank you, Spirit. Thank you for giving us strength. Thank you for the wisdom that you have shared with us. For the support that you offer us, that's all around us at all times. The support that can be found looking into a clear blue, limitless sky. The support that can be found in the cleansing and purification of the rain, or the clearing of the gales and the wailing of the wind that understands the way our souls howl for direction, for inspiration. Thank you for keeping the fire burning within us, the part of us that does have the faith to endure, the part of us that can see the light even in the darkest of times, to trust that it is there. Thank you for always keeping a light on for us. Thank you for the love that is always accessible to us, that we can feel the support of by sitting on the roots of a tree or resting our bare feet upon the earth. Anytime we want to feel the support, the love, the way you hold us, the way you provide for us, all we need to do is just step outside and make contact with you. Thank you for being patient with us when we have forgotten how much you do bear so that we may have this life. Thank you for all the blessings that you have given us so freely that we take for granted. Give us eyes that can see the wonder in this life and in this world, in our experiences. Give us eyes that can see beyond the pain through illuminating in our consciousness the gift, the blessing that came through what we've endured. And these two we thank you for. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all that has been received and all the blessings that are here right now in this moment, the moment we let go. Open our palms, soften our heart, and say yes. Have a beautiful week.